Glory to Jesus Christ. In today's Gospel, our Lord remarks that it is easier for a camel to pass through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter into the kingdom of heaven. Now, I'll leave aside and I'll leave to your own investigation the inquiry and the study that's been done on just exactly what is referred to by the word that is translated as camel here in English. Some hold it to be the familiar pack animal with a hump on its back, and others, not without reason, say that the word, as used here, referred to a very large, thick rope or a cable. In either case, the point remains that something very large is attempting to pass through something comparatively very small, very restrictive. And it's this imagery of a camel, of whatever kind, attempting to pass through the eye of a needle. That's what will stick in our minds. That's often what we think about if we turn our thoughts to this lesson from our Lord. We're doing it right now, obviously, and there's nothing wrong with that. See, our Lord used such imagery that we might think on it, and that we might be challenged by the concept that it presents. The apostles themselves were challenged by the concept, and, as the Gospel says, they wondered very much, saying, "Who then can be saved?" And Jesus, beholding, said to them, "With men this is impossible, but with God all things are possible." And there is the point of what our Lord is saying. Humanly, this is impossible, but with God all things are possible. Our Lord challenges us with an image we can't quite wrap our heads around. How can one really begin to imagine a camel passing through the eye of a needle? We could make the needle bigger or the camel smaller, perhaps. But that wasn't really a part of the original imagery. It's beyond our human power to be doing such things at will. So we're left with an intractable problem. But the Lord does not leave us in a quandary. He does not leave us frustrated, without assistance. But he does leave us with a truth which might shake us out of ourselves. And that is that there are some things which we simply cannot do. There are some problems which we cannot work out. There are some questions which we cannot answer. There are some things which are, simply, for us, impossible. But with God, all things are possible. We do well to remember this. We do well to remember it, especially in our day when we're surrounded by difficulties and trials of all kinds. We've got this continuing pandemic and all that goes along with it. We have civil unrest, societal uncertainty, a complete lack of civility and discourse at all levels. And humanly speaking, doesn't all of this seem to present an impossible task to us? How is it that any of this can be overcome? Doesn't it cry out for the conversion of hearts and minds, the renewal of morals and behavior, the rescuing, as it were, of all of us who have fallen victim to our own hubris and self-centeredness, to the point that we've lost the light of our souls, which is given to us to illuminate the pathway of our life and to keep us on the way of that which is good and true and beautiful? Aren't we presented with an impossible task? Yes, we are. It is impossible for us, but not for God. For this reason, even in the face of impossibility, we aren't discouraged. You have an impossible task before you? Don't be discouraged. Don't even think of giving up. When God places an impossible situation in your life, the only thing keeping it from being resolved is you. You are the one who makes it impossible, for with God, all things are possible. Let us seek daily the grace of God within our hearts through heartfelt prayer, by placing ourselves each day before the Lord of all, that we might simply be in his presence, that we may see his presence and his works in all that is around us, that we also may be seen by him. Our Lord, of course, sees us always and everywhere. But this is not a relationship. A relationship, even with him who is the Lord of the universe, is reciprocal. We behold him, and we are beheld by him. In this relationship is where we find his grace. And in this grace is indeed the light of our soul and our minds that can illuminate everything around us. And it is in the light of this grace that we can see the impossible made possible through the divine power. It is in the light of grace that you can see camels passing through the eye of a needle. Place yourself in the presence of the Lord. Behold him. Be beheld by him. And there you will witness the defeat of impossibility.